All right, welcome everybody to the introductory section for the Lean Concepts program. And what we're going to be discussing in this section is a little bit of the background on the Lean Concepts program itself, the kind of organization of the material structure that we're going to be covering with this program, and then a little bit of background on some of the resources provided here that are available to everybody, and kind of a brief discussion of what the expectations are for how to apply the learning that we'll be covering with the program itself. So the first, very first question in considering all of this is really, what is Lean Concepts? And it's really derived as a response to the interest of people to learn more about Lean. And the approach to doing that is really kind of an iterative approach, and it's something that's followed through all the modules and sections within the entire program, where the focus is on some learning activity, be it a presentation, be it assignments or templates that are available for everyone to use and to practice with, and then to take that and do something with it, apply it, try it, get some practice with it, and then come back and have another learning activity, either refresh or move on to different material. But it's that kind of iterative process of learning through doing and learning by doing while doing that's really the focus here, because that's the best way we've found is for people to have more of a hands-on approach in applying the material to really get a good feel for how it works and the real benefits of using it. And outside of that, we've also found that it's one of the best ways to kind of create the culture of Lean within an organization. Is when people can see and feel and touch. Is when really it becomes easy and effective and efficient to start generating buy-in. And so we'll take a kind of another step back beyond just the Lean concepts, why it exists and the methodology, but what is Lean in general? And kind of at its foundational core, this idea of Lean is really an organizational culture, and it's built kind of on three main key ideas. There's a philosophical component there that kind of guides the overall thinking structure. Then there's a management aspect of how we handle it, how we develop people, how we work within this system. And then there's the purely technical side. What are the tools and skills and kind of physical things that we can do to affect this change? And Lean, it's an overall general concept. It's really kind of a way to merge those three ideas together with the key component of human development. And in a Lean culture, human development, this pursuit of developing and capitalizing on our human resource, as it is the most valuable resource, is really the linchpin that connects those other three areas together, and really is kind of the glue that drives the transitional activities in creating a Lean culture. And as we move forward, this is kind of a common theme where everything is really a complete interconnected system. So things aren't done in buckets, and things don't exist on their own in isolation. Everything is really woven together and interconnected and dependent upon each other. The key thing with the Lean Concepts program is the way the material is introduced, and the way these ideas and concepts and really tools and skills are stacked and layered and sequenced. It's really kind of a novel approach about creating an entire transition culturally, not just a physical transformation of, say, an assembly line on the floor. Now, Lean Concepts does pull material from a number of different sources that allows this program to cover kind of the technical side, the philosophical side, the management side, that human development side, really, really in depth and with a kind of a really broad, well-rounded, inclusive program. And the main schools of thought that material is pulled from is Toyota Production System, which is TPS. There are ideas out of Six Sigma, a lot of it in terms of understanding data, developing targets, things like that. We also use information from the kind of School of Performance Management. It's some behavioral psych stuff for good management structure, how to understand how we interact with our team members, how to drive culture, create motivation, things like that. And then this last theme of engineering human competence as a way to really be able to look objectively at what we're doing, why we're doing it, and how to structure work environments and processes that allow people to be successful. So there is quite a diverse background that this pulls from, which is a really fortunate benefit because it allows the program as a whole to be a lot more comprehensive than any one of these four individual regimens. And that's the key point to take out of this, really. Because we can combine everything in novel and unique ways, it's really a complete turnkey lean system. And so then looking at all that material, because there is quite a bit, we want to make sure that it's organized in an accessible and more importantly a logical and smart way. And so the way it's laid out with the Lean Concepts program is there's kind of four key ideas. It's the kind of the premise of Lean. We talk about transformation tactics, transformation tools, and then always hit on this idea of respect for people. And it's no coincidence that that roughly correlates directly with those kind of four key areas we talked about in terms of the broad scope of Lean as an organizational culture of philosophy, management, technical skills, and then human development. And again, hitting on that theme of interdependence and everything being connected. And so what we do with kind of those four key areas that we want to hit, it's broken down into five unique module structures. And each module has a number of sections in it laid out in this flowchart, and those sections are a series of video seminars. And the way this is organized, there's a recommended path to go through the material, and it's organized to build the skills and knowledge so that each new skill is dependent upon a firm foundation of the skills that have come before it. And they're done that way to provide everyone the best opportunity to be successful as soon as possible. You know, minimize and shorten the learning curve with being able to adapt this within everyone's organizations. And then the key point to hit on again, as was mentioned before, really this regimen, the Lean Concepts program from start to finish, is a turnkey encapsulated methodology to build a complete Lean system, to really cover the aspects of good Lean management, good Lean understanding of data, good Lean skills and tools deployment, and a firm rooting in Lean philosophy to drive all that activity. Above and beyond that, the Lean Concepts program also focuses an entire module just on good Lean problem solving, because that is a key skill, a key functionality that has to be present in order to take full advantage of the other tools. And the reason that we do this, part of the reason of the organization, is that in a lot of instances, organizations will want to adopt these programs. They understand the benefits, but they may jump to the end or jump to the middle and not build a firm enough foundation to allow that to be successful. So by structuring the material the way we've done, we've really been able to minimize that kind of setback. There's also a number of different resources available to everyone going through these programs. The first one, of course, are the webinars that cover each section. There's also written documentation available to support those webinars, transcripts of the presentations, additional practice assignments, additional templates and resources and examples, things like that, to really just provide everyone a greater opportunity for exposure to the material. And then the last resource there is something that we encourage everybody to do is to maybe go through this program with one or two other people within your organization, because the idea and the ability to learn in a group and to bounce ideas and question with each other is really it's an invaluable resource in being able to develop the mastery of these skills much more rapidly than if we're doing it on our own individually. And so then the main goal, the reason that this is structured is for individuals and organizations with an interest can kind of come and learn about it, but the real end game is what to do with the knowledge that you can acquire through this program. And there's a couple things that we look for in application. One directly is to use it on the shop floor within an organization to affect the change that we're all out to capture. The other thing is to be able to pass that information on, share it with coworkers, share it with team members, share it with employees or reports, to really kind of spread the benefits of Lean organically through an organization as a way to start affecting the culture of that organization. And then the last thing we hit on it right at the beginning, this idea of continuing to learn and do. So to acquire some skill, some exposure through the Lean Concepts program, to use it, to practice it, to pass it on, to share it, and to teach other people, and then also to continue increasing your own skill by practicing these in the real world. And so again, there is a recommended module sequence, and that we'll cover it just briefly, but the recommended way to go through this, really for everybody, especially for people that don't have much experience with it, is to start with philosophy, then move through problem solving, move through lean management, move through the measurement tools section, which talks about how to capture data, what data we're looking at, why we're looking at it, what it tells us, and then finally move into the technical tools. A lot of times people start right with the technical tools because they think that's where the heart of it is, and in reality those first 4 modules that come first are required to be able to use those tools successfully. So we encourage everyone to follow it in that order. And then we will add as well, material summaries are provided for each section as you go through. So you don't have to do it just blind. You get it. You can see a quick blurb about what's covered. And so then, as we'll do with all of the webinars through this, any questions, just direct them through online submission. And we look forward to seeing everybody for the next sections. Thank you.